Most people believe a job interview is a test. They are wrong. It's a sale, and the product is you. Yet smart, capable people disagree violently on the single most effective sales tactic. One side argues you should close the deal before you ever walk in the room. The other insists that same strategy will get your resume thrown in the trash. Where do you stand? By the end of this, you might change your mind. The first argument is one of overwhelming force. It states that the formal interview process is a trap for the average applicant, and the only way to win is to make the interview a formality. You don't wait for permission to prove your value. You demonstrate it, preemptively. This school of thought says you should identify the hiring manager, or better yet, their boss. You find their work online. You study their company's quarterly reports, like ancient texts. You read the earnings calls, the investor decks, the marketing white papers. Your goal is to understand their problems better than their own team does. Then, you do the work, for free. You build a detailed 90-day plan showing exactly how you tackle the role. You might redesign a key page of their website. You could write a sample marketing campaign. Perhaps you analyze their main competitor and produce a strategy document outlining a critical vulnerability. You package this into a clean professional deck. You attach it to a short, sharp email, and you send it directly to the decision maker. You bypass the digital fortress of the human resources department entirely. The message is clear. I am not here to ask for a job. I am here to solve a problem you have right now. Here is the proof. When this works, it works like a bomb. A manager drowning in 100 identical resumes gets your email. They see a candidate who has already invested time, who shows massive initiative, and who has given them a tangible artifact of their thinking. You have single-handedly de-risked the hiring decision. They know what your work looks like. They know how you think. They forward your email to their team. The subject line is simple. We need to talk to this person. Today, you have jumped the entire queue. You are no longer one of the many. You are the one. The interview becomes a conversation about how soon you can start. It sounds like the ultimate power move. It's a guaranteed way to stand out, but there is a deep and dangerous flaw in this strategy. That brilliant 90-day plan you spent a week creating. To a busy manager with full context, it can look astoundingly naive. The problem you thought you solved is actually constrained by a Byzantine technical debt you couldn't possibly know about. Your brilliant marketing idea was tried 3 years ago and failed for political reasons that are still a sore subject. That competitor you analyzed is being acquired next quarter in a secret deal. Your unsolicited email and deck arrive not as a brilliant insight, but as a monument to your own ignorance. You've demonstrated you're great at making confident assumptions based on incomplete information. That is a dangerous trait. Worse, it can come across as arrogant and disrespectful. Companies have hiring processes for a reason, sometimes for legal and compliance reasons. By circumventing HR, you've signaled that you believe the rules don't apply to you. You've created an awkward situation for the manager, who now has to explain to HR why they're talking to a candidate who didn't follow protocol. You weren't being a go-getter, you were being a headache. Instead of looking like a star, you look desperate, presumptuous, and unable to read a room. You've taken a shot and missed. Now you're just the person who sends spam, and by offering to work for free, you've devalued your own labor from the very first interaction. You've set a precedent. The anchor point for your future salary negotiation just dropped, so the aggressive approach is risky. It's far safer to play by the rules, trust the process, and let your resume speak for itself. You submit your application through the official portal. You wait to be contacted. You show up prepared. You let your qualifications and past achievements be the evidence of your value. This is the professional, respectful path. And yet the professional path has its own deep, hidden trap. The system you are trusting is not built to discover your unique talent. It is built to manage volume. Your resume, the document you spent hours perfecting, is first read by a machine. An applicant tracking system scans it for keywords. Up to 75% of applications are filtered out by this software before a human ever sees them. Did you write project manager instead of project management? Did you use a 2-column layout that the machine can't pass? You are disqualified. Your file is moved to a digital graveyard. You will never know why. If you survive the robot, your resume lands in a pile on a recruiter's screen. They have 300 more to get through before lunch. The average time they spend on a single resume is 7 seconds. 7. They are not reading, they are pattern matching. They are looking for reasons to say no, because no is faster than maybe. In this environment, your unique experience becomes a liability. Your non-traditional career path is confusing. The impressive project you led at a company they've never heard of counts for nothing. The system rewards conformity. It filters for the predictable, the safe, the median. Playing by the rules means you accept being commoditized. You are agreeing to become a data point, a line item, a percentage match against a job description. The process is designed to strip you of your context and your story. It's a meat grinder. The only leverage you have is to hope that your specific combination of keywords is exactly what they told the machine to look for this week. You are gambling on a perfect match, when the game itself is rigged against individuality. To stand out, you must be seen as a person. The system is designed to prevent exactly that. This feels like the core of the problem. Following the rules makes you invisible. So, you must break the rules. You must send the cold email. You must build the deck. And yet, this logic leads us to an even more uncomfortable truth. Who gets to break the rules? Imagine two candidates for the same marketing role. They have identical skills and experience. The first is a recent graduate, living at home with their parents with no student debt. They have ample free time. They can afford to spend 40 hours crafting a speculative marketing campaign for the company, for free. They can treat the job application like a full-time job itself. The second candidate is a single parent. They are working 2 jobs to make ends meet. They are just as smart, just as capable, just as driven. They find 2 hours late at night, after their child is asleep, to polish their resume and write a sharp cover letter. Who can afford to build the 90-day plan? Who has the time to do the unpaid work? The hustle approach of preemptive work is a privilege. It creates a system where the winner is often not the most qualified candidate, but the one with the most free time and the fewest outside responsibilities. It systematically disadvantages caregivers, people from lower socioeconomic backgrounds, and anyone who has to work for a living while they are looking for work. It's an engine of inequality, disguised as a meritocratic test of hunger. A company that rewards this behavior is selecting for a very specific type of person. They may be filtering out the very resilience, time management, and efficiency that comes from having real-world constraints. They are building a monoculture of people who had the luxury of time to perform for free. This presents an impossible choice. Be aggressive and risk looking like a fool while reinforcing an unfair system. Or be traditional and risk being filtered into oblivion by a machine. Both paths seem to lead to a dead end. This entire frame is a dilemma. The lever seems to be broken no matter where you push, but perhaps there is a third path, a way to build leverage without doing unpaid labor or spamming executives. This path is built on a different kind of currency. It's about building informational leverage. The goal is to walk into the interview knowing more about the company's real problems and opportunities than the other candidates. You do the research, the deep dive into earnings calls and industry reports, but you don't build a deck. You don't offer solutions. Instead, you forge a key in the form of a question so insightful it instantly changes your position in the room. You move from a supplicant asking for a job to a peer discussing a complex business problem. For example, instead of saying, "Here's my 90-day plan," you ask, "In your last investor presentation, the CEO highlighted market expansion in Southeast Asia as a key priority. My experience launching products in that region taught me that payment gateway integration is the single biggest point of failure. How has the team been thinking about mitigating that risk for the upcoming product line?" See what just happened? You've demonstrated with one question that you have done your homework. You have relevant, specific experience. You are thinking strategically about their stated goals. You are focused on risk. You are operating at the level of a trusted colleague, not an applicant. You gave away no free work. You simply showed them how your brain works. You turned the interview from a test into a consultation, and you are the consultant. This type of leverage is built on curiosity. You can ask about a past project that was quietly sunsetted. I noticed the Project Phoenix initiative was a major focus in 2022, but isn't mentioned in this year's roadmap. What were the key learnings from that experience that the team is applying now? This shows you pay attention to detail and are interested in learning from failure, a crucial trait. You could ask about a new technology they're adopting, or a new regulation impacting their industry. The key is that the question cannot be answered by a simple Google search. It requires internal context. It forces the interviewer to think. In that moment, the power dynamic shifts. They are no longer evaluating you. You're both evaluating a problem together. So, where does this leave us? The debate intensifies. One path offers the explosive potential of a perfectly timed aggressive move, a high-risk, high-reward gambit that can catapult you to the front of the line. It values audacity and a willingness to shatter norms. The other path champions professionalism, respect of process, and the integrity of your labor. It defends a fair system, even if that system is inefficient and often blind. And the third path suggests a quieter, more surgical approach, using deep research not as a battering ram, but as a scalpel to ask a single question that unlocks the entire conversation. It's a strategy of intelligence over brute force. But who decides which approach is right? The answer depends entirely on the culture of the company you're targeting. A fast-moving startup might see the aggressive 90-day plan as exactly the kind of ownership they want. A large established corporation might see it as a rogue action and a red flag. The strategy you choose is also a signal of the kind of environment you want to work in. Your choice is a filter. Ultimately, the question of leverage forces us to confront what we believe about work, value, and fairness. Is it a game of pure skill to be played within the lines? Or is it a war for attention, where the boldest move wins? And what is the true cost of giving away your best thinking for free, just for a chance to be considered? So, what do you think? Where do you draw the line? Is that custom 90-day plan the mark of a future star performer, or the first, eager step into a culture of burnout and exploitation?